Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different, but I'm hoping to keep this in the regular monthly rotation of videos, and that is new horror or spooky books that are coming up each month. So in this video, I wanted to call out some books that are going to be new releases coming out in the month of November, but I've just picked out a few. I didn't want to highlight absolutely everything that was coming out because we'd be here forever, but these are ones that just sound specifically good to me, and hopefully they'll sound good to you too. So the first up on the list coming out on November the 2nd is Ghost Tracks by Celeso Hertado, and I believe this book was supposed to come out earlier this year because I had it in my most anticipated list of 2021, and I believe it was supposed to be released in kind of July-August time frame, but it looks like those release dates got bumped and now it's going to be hitting us in November. So this sounds like a fantastic sort of, I think, middle grade story, and I'm already getting Saturday Night Ghost Club vibes from this book. So this follows a young Latin American man who is from the wrong side of the tracks. So his parents weren't great, and he is now living with his grandmother, and unfortunately his grandmother has just been diagnosed with cancer and the medical bills are starting to pile up. So he decides that he is going to start a supernatural detective agency where he can help people rid themselves of paranormal things, but also help his grandmother out paying her medical bills. And it says here that this is Fear Street for a diverse America, and that's all I had to hear of. So if this is anything like the Fear Street series, I'm all in, and it sounds so cute. And like I said, I'm kind of getting the vibes of Saturday Night Ghost Club here, and I'm sure it's probably going to have some coming to age themes running throughout here too. So again, that's Ghost Tracks coming out on November 2nd. Also out on November 2nd is Something More Than Night by Kim Newman, and this follows two young men, one by the name of Raymond Chandler and the other Billy Pratt, who later becomes Boris Karloff, and they're attending school in 1904 in England, and I believe it seems like kind of a boarding school or a private school, and they're both outcasts, so they form a friendship, and together they're trying to uncover a mystery that involves the headmaster's very strange wife and some missing objects. So fast forward to Hollywood in 1944, and Raymond Chandler has a mistress, and she commits suicide by jumping off of the Hollywood sign. And it says here, Chandler realizes he can't escape his past and seeks out his old friend, and together they confront the terrible creature who entered their lives all those years ago. So I've never read anything from this author before. This was the first time that I had heard about this book, and it sounds super, super interesting. So again, that is Something More Than Night coming out on November the 2nd. And out on November 9th is one that I'm super excited about. It's called The Art of Goosebumps by Sarah Rodriguez, and this is exactly what it sounds like. It's a book that's kind of the history of the Goosebumps series and goes into a lot about R.L. Stine, how the series came about, and facts and tidbits about the series, which sounds absolutely fantastic. And a contributor here is Tim Jacobus, who did all of the illustrations, of course, for the Goosebumps series. So I would like to pick up this book and actually do a reread of the Goosebumps series before I read it, which of course is going to take me a while, but I've been meaning to do a reread of the series anyway. So once I have the few missing pieces that I have in my collection, I want to do a reread, and I'm definitely going to be picking up this book as a companion to that. And I can't wait to hear about all of the tidbits and the research and all of that that goes into a book like this, because I absolutely love stuff that has to do with behind the scenes of movies and stuff like that, and I think this is going to be just right up my alley. And also out on November 9th is The Hidden by Melanie Golding, and I don't usually do this, but the Goodreads synopsis of this story I think sums it up perfectly, and it has so much atmosphere, so I'm going to read directly from this. It says, one dark December night in a small seaside town, a little girl is found abandoned. When her mother finally arrives, authorities release the pair, believing it to be an innocent case of toddler running off. Gregor, a seemingly single man, is found bludgeoned and left for dead in his apartment. But the discovery of children's toys raises more questions than answers. Every night, Ruby gazes into Gregor's apartment, leading up to the discovery of his secret family, his unusually silent daughter, and his mentally unstable wife, Constance, who insists that she is descended from the mythological Selkies. She begs Ruby to aid in finding the sealskin that Gregor has hidden from her, making it impossible for her to return to her people. Detective Joanna Harper's investigation into Gregor's assault leads her to a CCTV footage of the mother-daughter pair from town. Harper realizes she knows who the woman is almost as well as she knows herself. It's her estranged daughter, Ruby. No matter the depth of Ruby's involvement, she knows she will choose her daughter over her career. So that sounds fantastic. Murder mystery, creepy kids. I don't think you can get any better than that. So definitely going to be checking that one out. And also out on November 9th is The Puller by Michael Hodges. And here we follow a man named Matt Cairns, and his favorite place in the whole world is a really remote shack in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So his plan is he's going to go to the shack and try to grieve and deal with the death of his father and try to figure out where his life is going to go from here. But when Matt arrives at the shack, he enters into a fight with an invisible creature who is keeping him there. And it says, every time he tries to flee, he's dragged backward by an unseen force. Alone and with no hope of rescue, Matt must escape the puller's reach. But how do you free yourself from something you can't see? So again, I love these kind of remote stories. I recently did my part 3 of my Halloween watch list, and it had the Blair Witch on there, and I just love this sort of isolation horror where there's absolutely no hope of anyone knowing what's going on, and you just have to try to deal with it yourself. And the last one up on this list, coming out on November the 25th, is Source Material by C.M. Harris. And it doesn't have much of a synopsis, but I'm super intrigued. It says, Stranger Things meets Sharp Objects meets The Haunting of Bly Manor in this show-stopping suspense thriller that fuses small-town mystery with cinematic science fiction. Source Material is an enthralling exploration of childhood trauma, found family, the tenuous fibers that bind us, and how they tear us apart. So I've read a lot this year with stories of trauma, so this definitely sticks out to me. And I mean, I love Stranger Things and I love anything that has to do with the paranormal or haunted houses, so this definitely has me intrigued. So there you guys go. That is my most anticipated list of horror and spooky books that are coming out in the month of November. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up and leave me a question or a comment down below, because you know I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky everybody. Bye.